Welcome to the Rustic Garden. Today I want to talk to you about using a greenhouse in the fall. This is a greenhouse. It's an 8x6 that I actually bought from Big Lots, and it was originally $119, which is, I think, too much money. But I got it at the end of the season, which was the beginning of the September, for 75% off, so I think this cost me about $30. And my concern is that the clear plastic, the green plastic, and the zipper piece, and I think that's probably cotton, I'm not sure how well that's going to hold up to the UV rays, so I'm thinking I'm only going to get 2 or 3 years out of the greenhouse. So for 30 bucks it's definitely worth it. For 120, I'm not too sure. Anyway, my plan is to try and grow tomatoes as late as I can into the winter, and the peppers, hopefully they grow, but I more want to try and overwinter them, because I learned from different subscribers that peppers actually overwinter. If they don't freeze out, you can save them through the winter. They drop their leaves and they'll come back the following year. All right, let me talk to you about two main things today. Today I want to talk about securing the plastic to the frame of the greenhouse, and also ways to help keep the greenhouse warm at night. When you put the greenhouse together, you're going to see it comes with green ties or whatever it comes with, and it's not quite enough to create a bow tie and really secure it. And you don't want to put a knot into this because it'll be impossible to take apart, and I'm going to collapse this probably in January. So one good trick is to start this like you're going to make a bow tie. Just, cross it over, pull it tight, and then after you pull it tight, you're just going to tie some string around this and knot it. And this is what I did down here. So knot it with, this is jute or any kind of string, and this is not going to come undone. I had this set up for about a week now, and a couple of times without this extra piece of string on here, when the wind started to blow 10-15 miles an hour, this just loosened up and came undone, and before you knew it, the whole plastic was flapping. The other thing that you can do is, I keep a lot of these binder clips because I use them in the garden, is you could just clip a binder clip on the end just like that. So nighttime, right now it's Maryland zone 7. It gets anywhere really right now in September 45 to 55 degrees at night. So if you noticed, I set my greenhouse up on my deck, and I did that for convenience so I can just walk out here and get what I need. But I put down a plastic tarp, a painter's tarp, or painter's plastic, just so that the cool air couldn't come through. And I also put down a dark tarp to absorb some heat. If you're doing this on the ground, you don't really need to worry about it. Just make sure the ground is flat so that there's no gaps. The other thing that I did to secure the bottom of the tent is, you can see that there's some extra, but the wind is going to blow under there, and I just laid a board across to secure it there. If you don't have a board, you can fill up some Ziploc bags like this with dirt, and you just drop them along the side. And on the other side, I just used some clay pots. The board seems to work the best, but you just want to weight it down. And you can see that there's some extra painter's cloth that I pulled out and then tucked over the flap of the greenhouse, and then I just put the clay pots down. And that's really just to seal the plastic around the frame so that it stays as warm as possible. Now again, the nighttime temperatures do get cool here, and this is a good trick, is just get milk containers, spray paint them, fill them with water. During the day they will heat up, and at night they're going to radiate the heat back out. The milk containers not only are a good trick to use to keep heat in the greenhouse at night, you can also tie them, which I highly recommend, to some of the posts in your greenhouse. Even though you're securing the clear plastic onto the metal frame, if it gets windy 20-30 miles an hour, the wind comes underneath, it will topple over your whole greenhouse with your seedlings and everything on the shelves. You don't want that to happen. So a gallon of water is pretty heavy, and you can see that in a couple of places I've tied them down already, and I'll probably tie them down to 6 or 8 of these containers. I'll probably bring in 20 of these containers and just put them throughout the greenhouse. I'll also put them on that shelf. I put a mini greenhouse inside of there. The other trick you can use to help the greenhouse stay warm at night and also weigh down the frame is to get a bag This is a 40-pound bag of topsoil that I just covered with a trash bag. So the trash bag is a dark color. The sun will come in, heat up this bag, heat up the soil inside, and it will radiate heat back. And it's also 40 pounds that's sitting right on your metal frame. So this is going to keep your greenhouse from lifting up or flipping over. So the first thing you want to do is have a method to secure the plastic to your frame, and you also want to weigh the frame down so that wind doesn't knock your greenhouse over. And then you also want to come up with a couple ideas of ways to store heat in here during the day so at night the heat radiates out. And like I said, I'm going to do a series on this greenhouse, and I'm going to show you a little bit about growing the different plants, mostly greens, but also how do you control for bugs and disease, and just things that you can do to really make your greenhouse successful in the fall. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my blog, www.therustedgarden.blogspot.com, and also check out my YouTube videos. Thanks.